Greetings and welcome to episode 187 of the Words About Gamescast, a weekly video game podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy Alexander, and I am joined this week by Mr. Moody. Hiya.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me back.
I said last week, I'll always have you back. I'll do the opposite way this week.
The Flying V.
The Flying V. I want to watch Mighty Ducks
that
now.
reference, you are awesome.
I want to watch those films now. Not on Disney Plus. Apparently.
They will be eventually.
Fucking better be. By the time it comes over here, if I can't watch the Mighty Ducks trilogy, I'm like pissed. I was talking to my friend about it.
Mandalorian.
Oh, fuck the Mandalorian. It's all like Mighty Ducks, man. Quack, 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 you know, like. Apparently the cartoon is on Disney Plus, and I was like, who gives a fuck about that cartoon?
Yeah, the ducks on that. We want the real ones.
They're like ducks, and they're in space.
They're fighting crime in there.
Like, fuck. Well, that sounds pretty cool, actually. But
hockey players by day, crime fighters by night.
To be fair, that just sounds like any 90s cartoon. Something by day, crime fighters
original.
By night. Yeah. Great. Everybody fought crime in the 90s. Hong Kong Fooey was a janitor.
Spider-Man.
And then he jumped out of the cabinet and he did Hong Kong. And also he was a dog. Someone asked me was talking to me about that like IRL like last week, and I couldn't remember what it was called. And just as we were talking about it there, I've just remembered. So that's been bugging me for like a whole week. It's Hong Kong Fooey. How are you, Mr. Moody?
I am not bad. I'm tired. Mentally exhausted. I won't lie.
Resident game dev extraordinaire.
Yeah, I've just finished a game jam. Very tired. Brain kind of mush. But not mush enough to talk about video games still.
Hell yeah.
I left just enough. So I might have lost because of that. I didn't give... I kept some back for you, Amy, so I was like, damn it, I might have won it then.
Shit. I feel really bad now. What do we do?
In my failure speech in January, I'll be like, I dedicate this failure to...
I dedicate this F. Just hold up your F on your report card. And I'll just be like, well, shit.
I'll get someone to hold my phone and film it so I can send it straight to you.
I'll include it in a video and just be like, and this is why I'm retiring from the internet.
I thought that was because of your Death Stranding thoughts.
My Death Stranding thoughts. Oh, it took me so, that's the video that's taken me the longest all year to make, and it's just dislike, and it's like, all right then.
Screw you. Don't you know the magic of Kojima? He is the Lord and Savior Kojima.
Apparently. Although he says he wants to make a horror game next, and I'm all for that because I feel like his insanity would be perfect for a horror game. Also, I play PT, and it's legitimately the scariest thing I've ever played.
I never got around to that, but when I heard they were doing a Silent Hill, I was thinking, yes. And then Konami decided to fudge us in the butt.
Yeah. Konami was Konami, and they did a Konami thing, and now they don't make games anymore. Oops.
Are we sad by that?
I don't know.
They have some good franchises, but we're just like, are we actually sad?
There's some good franchises. On one of the very few podcasts that I missed, since we've been doing these podcasts, I remember the guys talked about video game franchises that they wanted to see make a comeback. Yeah, and everybody was sat in the podcast. Now I have to edit the podcast still, even when I wasn't on it. So I was editing it, and near the beginning they were like, "Well, Amy would totally say Silent Hill." So I jumped on the next podcast, and I'm like, "Hang on a minute, fuckers." I don't want Konami anywhere near making a Silent Hill game. It'll be terrible. Did you play Metal Gear Survive? I played Metal Gear Survive.
They're just like, nah, we just thought we'd leave you to torture yourself on that, Amy. We're good.
15 hours
we wanted to survive and stay sane.
15 hours of my life I'm not getting back. Anyway, for everybody out there who doesn't know, this is the Words About Games cast, where we discuss what's been going on in gaming, games, and the games industry over the past week, before we give you a rundown of all the games that are coming out over the course of the next 7 days. Spoiler alert, there's like one.
We talked a lot on the last one about one story, so who knows how long this could go for.
I'm gonna activate my podcast hosting muscles and keep us moving at a decent clip, because I don't want to cut anything out of this podcast.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. I'll be like this the entire time. Mm-hmm. This week we are discussing the Game Awards and the Game Festival, as well as PlayStation's State of Play, Nintendo's Indie World, well, that's what they called it, and the NPD figures for November. As always, there are links in the description below the video on YouTube. So if you want to see us talk about a specific thing, you just scroll down, you click, and you'll fast forward. You don't really fast forward, it just skips you to it. But wouldn't it be cool if YouTube literally fast forwarded like all videos?
I'm still waiting for them to put in a block button, because people come up on my thing and I'm just like, I have not been on your channel and I know I haven't. Don't recommend. Block it, please. Give me that YouTube. I would like that.
Yeah. There was a YouTube walkout last week, apparently, and I did not know until it was over.
Yes.
So it was very effectively communicated by the people who organised it.
YouTube were so worried that they never talked about it.
Yeah, it was they wouldn't. It was like a bunch of YouTubers were like, we're going on strike.
Then they just looked at the numbers. Numbers are still high. Never mind, people.
We're going on strike, but it was like, we're going on strike tomorrow, and it was like nobody didn't filter through. So I was still using YouTube, and then I found out on the last day, and I was like, oh.
Well,
I've too late to do anything about it now.
And I was just like, I need you for Game Jam.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I have to publish my extremely unpopular Death Stranding video. So... Oh. Mooney, I want to start us off with State of Play, because I feel like we talked about a thing last week for like 15 minutes, and that thing happened almost exactly the way we said it was going to happen. So let's talk about it. Resident Evil 3 Remake got like a 3-minute-ish trailer to show it off, to be like, here's Resident Evil. It's coming out on April 3rd, 2020. Do you want to talk about that release date?
Fascinating.
We
Fascinating
missed.
release date.
Yeah.
If they're confident, I'm guessing they are. They know they've got something good that they know they have. It's the same type of mechanics, obviously, from the first one, the remake 2. It looks beautiful. I like the new look of Jill and everything. What I saw from the trailer, it showed Mr.
Nemesis.
Oh, what's his name again? No, not Nemesis. You saw the guy with the hat.
Oh, Mr. X.
Yeah, him. I don't know. Why did I forget? X going to give it to you, David. Yeah, you saw him lifting something up when she was running through the burning building. But obviously, Nemesis is the main guy. So I'm very curious to see if you see X and Nemesis clash at one time, and then X decides, I'm going for Leon Kennedy. Bye.
Well, that's the thing about Resident Evil 3, right? Like, in the original game it was set, like the first half of the game was set like a couple of days before Resident Evil 2, and then an incident occurs. I don't want to do, even though it's like a 20-year-old game, I don't want to do spoilers for it, because there's a remake coming out, people might not have played it. Something happens, and then there's a time skip in Resident Evil 3, and during that time skip is when Resident Evil 2 takes place, and then the second half of Resident Evil 3 happens. So it's entirely possible that in the first half of the game, Mr. X could show up.
The first half of the game, they see Mr. X and they say, if you want to truly beat Mr. X, go back to Resi 2.
Yeah.
Or not, continue with Nemesis.
Link to the PlayStation Store to click
Press this button to receive.
If you want the full story, like, you know, the thing that happens and then like the screen fades to black and it's like, if you want the full story, now you need to play Resident Evil 2.
But I like the new looks of the characters. Really, really fascinating. I'm amazed they actually didn't really show Nemesis, but I'm thinking they're just like, they know what it looks like. They know. We can hold him back.
Yeah, it's like it was on the box art.
Yeah, and I was fascinated that they took Nemesis from the name. It's just Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
That's I was thinking, I'm fascinated by that. Don't know why, but I am.
It was like, it's the only mainline numbered Resident Evil game until 7 that has a subtitle. Like, it's Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, 4, 5, 6. 3 is Nemesis. 3 had a subtitle. It was badass enough. There was Code Veronica, but that wasn't a numbered. That was a spin-off. Hopefully they remake that one next, if they're going through all of the Resident Evil games.
A good friend of ours really wants that.
That would be cool. Like, that would be cool. It'd be better than 0. I didn't like 0. I didn't.
Mind 0, but I never completed it, so I can't comment on
it. Dropping weapons.
I played what I liked, but then yeah, that was a bit irritating. like me and my mate, like only got like halfway through, and we had everything scattered all over at the front of the stairs.
It's just
do I need this time, or do I need this?
Oh man, I need some more bullets, but I left them over here. And then you like try to run back, and it's like, the enemies there. There's so many of them. And weird monkey thing just tries to kill you. But like, I'm super excited. Like, next year, man, is. Do you remember 2013, right? When the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out?
Yeah.
And, like, The Last of Us came out and Grand Theft Auto came out. But apart from that, it was a pretty unremarkable year. Like, because it was like...
Black Flag came out. Black Flag was awesome.
Black Flag was cool. But, like, it was like it tapered off for the new consoles coming out. And then you're like at 2020, which is like, just everything's coming out in 2020, like all of the most anticipated games of an entire generation.
A friend of mine asked, threw a question at me, and I had a good thought about it. That PlayStation must be incredibly confident for what they have for the PlayStation 5 if they're allowing Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and basically Final Fantasy 7, even though that's not their game, but I'm pretty sure they could say, any chance you could just push it to PlayStation 5 if they wanted to come out. Because they've got the exclusive rights for a year for PlayStation, for Final Fantasy. So it's like they must have something incredible to show. Yeah. And to be knowing that they've got at least got something to launch with it that they're very proud and excited to show off. So it's going to be a fascinating 2020.
Yeah, like February, March time when they do the consoles reveal show thing, which I'm hoping isn't a state of play. Hopefully it's a proper reveal, because they don't like their state of plays very much.
I don't mind them. I think they've gradually got better and better, and they've just come out and said what they are. This is how long they are. This is what we're talking about, basically, and everything like that. And if you go in with the right set expectations, you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
but when it comes to a reveal event, yes, I feel like they need to have something. We need Mark Cerny to come on with his big ass head, smart as hell, and tell us why we want to buy this.
Yeah, it's like you've got to convince people that PlayStation 5 is good. So yeah, Resident Evil 3 remake. I don't know why I've got I'm going to close this because I've actually got the show notes open above me and on my phone, and instead of looking at my phone, I just keep looking up, and now I'm looking at my Game of the Year list. It's like streaming. So yeah, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 3, April 2020. There was a few other things at the state of play. Babylon's Fall, which I feel like was announced a long time ago, which is the Platinum Games game where they're teaming up with Square Enix to make an action game. More info in the summer. We got a small gameplay trailer. It looks cool. It's a Platinum game. Lots of fast-paced action. Like, there's like a weird paintbrush art style to it, which I dig. But apart from that, I guess it's just going to be like wait till E3 for more information.
Probably, yeah.
Because that's what the code is. Anytime anyone says there'll be more information in the summer, it's like you can just say E3. Like everybody knows you mean E3.
I still think they might not turn up for E3. They might just do their own separate
Square
thing
Enix.
a week before.
Square Enix will do the whole E3 press thing.
True, but if, say, PlayStation have exclusive rights to it, or exclusivity, I can see them sharing it first.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the deal is. Like, that's the thing with, like, State of Players and Nintendo Directs. It's like, they all pretend that everything they're showing is exclusive. And sometimes it is. And then other times it's really not.
Well, PlayStation, when it comes to like Final Fantasy, all they've said ever is it's first on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's all they've ever said. So that means to me automatically we all know it was just a timed exclusive.
It's on the cover art, right? So it's like, besides, Square Enix need to go to E3 next June so they can tell everyone that the second part comes out a year after the first one.
2025.
And then it doesn't come out. And then it disappears. And then it comes out like 10 years later.
In the PlayStation 6 era.
Yeah. It's a PlayStation 6 launch exclusive.
Watch this game? Oh, yeah. I remember this game.
Evil 7. That was a...
I thought I did not play this on the PlayStation 4. I was waiting for the second part on the PlayStation 5.
When I was a teenager. It does bring up an interesting question about some games. Like, there's one in particular I want to talk about for this, but there's also Final Fantasy. So Dreams is coming out on February 14th, 2020. Practically stole Persona 5's marketing line. I wish I'd written it down now. It was like, it's a steal your heart or something like that. And I was like, that's what Persona 5 said, almost word for word, when they were... Because that's their whole thing.
Steal your hearts.
Brazen, very brazen. But like Dreams is so cool. Like I've played it at EGX a couple of months ago, and like the games within the games are so cool, and they're just like the smaller experimental ones. And like the trailer that they showed of State of Play, it was like so much more expansive. Like all the different types of things they were showing off, and it's like it's gonna be so good if there's enough people buying the game to be creators in the game, it's gonna be fucking amazing. Like it's like Super Mario Maker. It's like if there's people making cool stuff, then it's gonna be a really cool game. But it's coming out in February, and we're expecting the PS5 to come out in November. Like I'm assuming the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with all the PS4 games.
That's what I'm pretty sure the Wired article, wasn't it Wired?
It was Wired, yeah.
I think it pretty even confirmed it is.
That's good.
So that's not a surprise to me.
Because it's this weird thing of like, okay, so you're bringing out Dreams finally, and it's like you're trapping it on the older generation of console. It seems a bit harsh. But, so like, there's 100 million PlayStation 4s been sold, right? And then Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out in March. And then Final Fantasy VII Part 2 comes out, let's say 2 years?
I think we're being generous, but okay.
Like, best case scenario, it comes out in like 2 years. Like, it's not going to come out on the PS4, right?
No, probably not, no. That's why I'm thinking you'll probably... 2 years is probably the safe bet, just for them to re-release 7 for the new consoles, even though it's going to be even though both consoles are going to be backwards compatible. They'll probably re-release 7, saying it's updated, it's shinier now, people.
Game of the Year edition.
See Cloud's muscles? They're more curvier with veins.
We're going to talk about next gen graphics in a bit, but yeah. I could see them doing that. So yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, where it's like the joke we just made about Resi 3 advertising Resi 2, where it's like, yeah, you finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like, if you want to continue the adventure in 2022, buy this console.
You got 2 consoles to pick. Do it now.
Speaking of that, because that's the perfect segue, Predator Hunting Grounds comes out on April 24th.
Ah, my old enemy is back. Now he's got one with an arrow. and a spear, but then all you need is a log to drop on their head. It's all good. Get to the chopper.
See, this is why I love having you on. Do you have any hype for this game? Any excitement?
No,
any
not at all.
interest? I tried to play it. I tried to play it at EGX, but it was a cool little demo thing they had. Like the demo was in a shipping container with like all the jungle stuff on the outside and the name.
But they were afraid to show people. They hid you away in the corner out of the way.
It's like, but it was like the demo was so, because it's an asynchronous multiplayer game, right? So the demo was really long. So the queue was always ridiculous. Like you're talking like 2, 3, 4 hours because there wasn't much room. Yeah,
my nightmare.
It was like you're queuing for ages, and I was like, screw this. I'm gonna go and play something else. Like, yeah, like I didn't want to spend 4 hours queuing for Predator, but yeah,
I wouldn't. As much as I love the franchise, I wouldn't stand around for them.
Like I feel like we've been here. Evolve, it was a thing. It happened. It kind of wasn't great, to put it one way. And I feel like we all just moved on, but now it seems like we're trying to bring it back. I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's going to be fascinating because this one's, I believe, is a PlayStation exclusive.
I think so. I think it is.
So
PlayStation and Epic Game Store, maybe.
I'm intrigued to see how this works. I have no interest in it. I won't lie, even though it's got one of my favorite monsters in movie franchise history. But no,
I wish I could do the noise. You know, the clicky noise. But I can't. I'm not even going to attempt it. That's the one. Yeah. Hell yeah.
If I can't do the other one.
No one could do the other one.
Over here.
Just let's move on from the state of play. You might notice these aren't in chronological order of when they happened because the next one I want to talk about is the Game Awards. The Game Awards, Moody. Yay. They happened. That was the only important thing that happened on Thursday.
Death Stranding won everything, like I said.
Did it fuck? You were wrong. You tried to destroy my sanity, and then the Game Awards. And then, to be fair, I'm pretty sure it won the first award, and I was like, oh no. It's happening.
Right.
It's happening. But then, like, it did win a bunch of other awards. So I'm going to talk about the reveals first. So there was a pre-show, don't care. Final Fantasy VII trailer, brilliant. But, like, I'm super biased when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, so yeah. Cool. That when they were like, it's time for the Final Fantasy VII trailer, and everybody was like, woo! And there was this one woman in the crowd who just fucking lost her mind, and just like you could hear her just being like, ah! And I was like, yeah, that's me.
She might have died.
That's me whenever Final Fantasy is a thing. But yeah, it's like, so I just want to talk about some reveals first, because the first thing that was revealed, Monsieur Mude, the first thing we saw on the Game Awards was a weird trailer. Like, I want to go through the stages of trying to be like, what the fuck is this? So
what is going on here?
Yeah, so it's like it does the thing.
What are you?
And then it's like a ring, and it's some stars, and then it's a ring, and everybody's like, well, I don't know what everybody was like. I was ignoring Twitter that night for no reason at all. But I was like, maybe,
I don't know why.
Maybe there's no reason. We're not going to talk about it. This is a safe space for anyone from the UK right now. This is a safe space. I was like, Elden Ring, but it was because the word ring, and then there was a ring on the screen. I was like, okay, it's Elden, and then it goes into the valleys, and I'm like, okay, cool. Elden Ring, still in my head, like, this is obviously some kind of fantasy. And then a fucking Lamborghini drives past, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting thing to be in a From Software game.
See, go with it, From Software. You can do it. I will play it.
I would play. I'll play the fuck out of it. Yeah, sure. Like, you have my attention. And then it cuts to some football, and I'm like, what kind of game is this?
What is going on here?
It was only when Master Chief turns up at the end, I was like, wait, is this what I think it is? And then, yeah, so, like, Xbox Series X. Is the name of the game? What do you think?
Well, it's not a game. It's a console.
It's the console. It's the name of the console. Yeah. I should have said I shouldn't have made that. Yeah. Damn it. Maybe I should retire.
The name's fine to me. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, the name. They never get a name right. Guys, it could have literally been called Xbox Phil Spencer's Giant Wang, and you're still going to buy it, just so you know that. He could have come out and literally said, Xbox, my Giant Wang. You can thank me later. And you're still going to buy it. I actually was very shocked by this when I woke up, because I didn't watch the for the game was. I just went, I've still got a long day tomorrow. Bed. So I went to bed.
Fair enough.
And I didn't even realize it happened until I got to college when a mate of mine spoke to me about it, and I went, oh, okay. And I really like the look of it.
It's very different, isn't it?
Sexy. It looks like an Alexa.
It does.
I love that.
It does.
Just square.
I was just hoping
it looks really sexy. It looks like, going off what the size of the controller is, it looks like it's not very big.
No, it's not huge. It's not like when I saw it at first, I thought it was like, oh my god, it looks like a PC tower. But when they show the picture, it's got the controller resting on the front of it, and it's like the controller's like obviously that big, and then the Xbox is probably
like 2.5 controllers.
Yeah, it's probably about a year big.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then with how small that is, I'm fascinated to see what the PlayStation 5 looks like, because we all know it's not that silly V-looking thing. Now we know it's not that. It's going to be something more sleek and sexy. We all know
dev
it.
Kit.
Well, we bloody hope it is anyway. But
it's literally designed like that, so you can stack them on top of each other. Developers, but then, because I was talking about this, we were talking about this on the podcast not long ago about what the PS5 might actually look like. And it was like, well, it's just going to look like a fucking box, right? It's just going to look like one of these. And then Xbox Series X is like, looks nothing like one of these. And it's like, oh, hold on. Interesting.
Theirs looks like the Alexa. That means PlayStation's going to like the Google Chrome.
It's going to be around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, guys.
If it long as it works, it does what it says it's going to say it does, I'm okay with it.
Like, it fits so well. Like, looking at the sides of it and looking at where it's going to sit on my shelf. The only problem is my Switch dock's on top of my Xbox. I'm going to have to move that. But
some of the silly things I saw is thinking, oh, how can I put that on my TV stand? They've even come out and said you can lie it on the side.
It's crazy, right? You know how, you could stand your Xbox up if you wanted to? Well, with this one, you could lie it down.
Put it on its side.
But I don't think it would have looked as sexy if it was lying down in the picture.
That's true. That is true. It's a sexy looking thing, I won't lie. And it is the shock of the show. There's no doubt about it. I 100%. Said last week, you won't hear anything for next gen at all. And I am happy to say I'm fairly happy to be wrong here. I'm happy to be wrong.
We were both like, what are Microsoft going to do at the Game Awards? And we had an agreement of Ori trailer, Game Pass trailer. That was it. And then it's like, Jeff Keighley, the look on his face when he was talking about it. Oh, yeah, you've got some expectations and some stuff's leaked, but this hasn't leaked. And he's got that, that shit-eating grin on his face of just like, fuck us.
The biggest
Didn't see this coming.
The biggest things that were revealed are the things I would say weren't leaked.
Yeah.
That we didn't know a thing about. So everything else that we knew about was just like, we don't care about that.
Okay,
but when it came to the other things, we're just that's really good and fair play. And then I'll segue us into the reveal of Hellblade. Holy mother of God. My project this term has been about 4 games, and one of them was Hellblade.
Nice.
I had to research into that. I researched into it last year, but I delved even more into it this year. And I was thinking, damn, they were nuts. And then when you go into this trailer, I'm thinking, oh God, she's gone even crazier. What has happened to you, Sasuna?
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen the Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga trailer, go watch it. It sticks in your head. Like, it's such a good reveal trailer. Her face. Like, it was the thing. It was like the music was one thing, and that was cool. Yeah. Like, that was so good, but it fits so well with, Hellblade. But the facial animation, that's all I was thinking of. Like, when you see the trailer start up, and it hasn't really started yet, and you see the water, and I was like, holy shit, that water looks amazing. because obviously this is from like the processing of the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And then like you see a face and it's like, wow, these graphics look. And then she starts doing the chanting and her face starts moving. And I'm like, that facial animation is insane. Like, oh my god.
I think someone wants the Best Acting Guild Award from the Game Awards again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a veteran now with my trophy. I want another one.
I want another one. She get one from for me. She get one from just the trailer, but
yeah, just for the eyes. I was just like
the eyes, like that's the thing. It's just like it's captured so well. Like there's certain things on like video games where it's like you watch the animations of faces and stuff, and there's certain things you just have to accept like on 100%. And eyes is one of them. So when it like does the second part where it's like she's doing the chanting and she's getting even more like crazier, like freakier, and it's like her eyes start going like, and it's just like, how did they facial capture this? Like, this is so good.
It's fantastic. It is. Well done to them. Well done. And I never completed Hellblade. That's been one of my regrets. But I've like with the research I've done for this term, I've said to myself I'm going to post play it over Christmas because I finish college next week, so I'm going to be like, I've got a couple of games to play, so why not?
But yes, it's a really good game. I highly recommend it. It was in what has probably been the best year for games in the entire decade. It was still in my top 10, like for game of the year.
But I'll say this right now, just going off it, I'm just like, Sony, you should have passed on buying this company because you had first dibs here, guys. I know you got Insomniac, which is an amazing company,
100%.
But you couldn't have bought both of them.
You didn't get Ninja Theory?
Because it's crazy because we all know they had first dibs and they backed out for some weird reason.
No idea. But this has proven my theory from the podcast where we were talking about XO19, where it's like, okay, so like all these studios they've bought, including like Ninja Theory, have got two teams, and they've got a smaller team working on something they can get out quickly. And then they seem to have another team, second team, working on something bigger for sort of the next few years. So we've got Bleeding Edge is coming out next year, which is Ninja Theory's multiplayer action game. Mm-hmm. And then obviously they've got Hellblade, and Hellblade looks incredible, and that'll be coming out probably in the next couple of years.
I think we'll see a gameplay trailer at E3, and I think it'll drop 2021.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see it, because like the thing about next year is we've not just got E3, but we've also got reveal events. We should, in theory, have 2 reveal events for like a full Series X stage show and a full PS5
I'm
stage show. I'm
fascinated by that. I am because we now know what the Xbox looks like and what the name is. I'm thinking, do they actually need to?
Yeah,
they can just do their inside Xbox thingies, do their little things, concentrate over for till June of the Xbox One. Just concentrate on what they still have coming out then, and then when it hits E3, they're like, boom, this is nothing but Xbox Series X. This is what we got. This is why you should come and get this. And I can see him doing that.
Oh, 100%. But I think they'll still do the show because as a podcast host, we both know and respect and admire and are friends with will say mindshare is everything. And if PlayStation are going to have a stage show in, like, say, March or February, I don't think it would be good for Xbox to not have that, because while we see stuff like this, because that's just what we do, right? Like, a lot of casual consumers might not necessarily see this and see the Hellblade trailer and freak out about how cool the animations are and how cool the graphics are. Whereas if they do like the full stage show thing where it's like a more traditional type thing and it's a console reveal and they show a couple of things here and there, maybe some more Hellblade, maybe some Fable, Microsoft, maybe some Fable, and then it's part 1 of 2, right? So your console reveal is part 1, where you focus more on the console side of things, and then that frees you up where you can go to E3 and then go, here are all the games that you'll be playing on it.
I understand that part. I do. I just have, for some reason, just can't see it. Because if I remember rightly, PlayStation, when they revealed the PlayStation 4, that was in February. And then they didn't talk about it until E3. So February, all the way to June, that's 5 months. Say Xbox have revealed what the console looks like. No, you know what it is now in December. You only have to wait 7 months.
No, it's
I
true.
think no 6 months.
6 months.
So they could literally not do this. I, for me, think they're just going to concentrate. The next couple of things they do is just going to be like, here's Ori. Here's a couple of the games that we know are coming to the Xbox One X and everything. And when it hits E3, that'll be like a boom of E3 thing. And I think we will probably see Fable at E3 because I follow the studio on LinkedIn. They are hiring like crazy, and I mean like crazy. Like they hire new people every freaking week. They're specific what they say. They say this is for our racing team to go and do some lighting and all this. This is for our RPG team. They literally say that. So they're like, I can see Fable getting announced this time next year. But we'll see who's right. I'll be happy either way. Who's happy? Either way, we win.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, that's what's great about this time of year. Like, we win. Whenever new consoles are happening, we are the winners. To go back to what I was saying earlier, it's weird that it's coupled with, like, such a good year for games. So, like, we're going out on a high on this generation, and then we're rolling straight into the next generation.
Well, we hope that for 2020.
I mean, if all of the really, really amazing looking games that come out next year turn out to be average, I'm going to be pretty, yeah. But it won't. That's not what's happening. Next year is going to be amazing. So here's something that did get leaked, and we knew there was going to be a PS5 launch title shown at the Game Awards, and it was called Godfall. It's being made by Gearbox, and it is a looter slasher with co-op.
Yeah.
And the only thing, like, right, if this didn't say PlayStation 5 at the end of the reveal trailer, I would have been like, I don't even remember this name. I don't care.
No one give a hoot. It's fascinating that it said PlayStation 5 first.
Yeah.
But it didn't say Xbox. So I'm curious, is it exclusive or timed exclusive?
It might just be a case of Sony wanted something for the PlayStation, Gearbox wanted to make something, so they just team up. Launches are weird like that. You'll get exclusives like within the console launch window, usually from like third-party developers, because I imagine like console manufacturers who want perceived value for their new consoles will just go up to you and go, "Here's a big pile of money, make a game for us."
Here's a big pile of money. Can we have that game?
Yeah. Make us ready.
But we've been doing it for PC. Oh, can you put it on this controller?
Yeah, like please make please make us the Order 1886. Please make us Bloodborne. Stuff like that.
I still think we could get a sequel for that.
Oh, I want one.
But I think but there'll be the Assassin's Creed 2 for that version.
I'd hope so, because the Order 1886 was a pretty bad game, but
the concept was awesome.
The concept was cool. And then the story really started to get good, and then the game was over.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to see where it goes next.
Yeah, basically. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's have a look. What else have I put down here? Bravely Default 2 is coming out to Nintendo Switch sometime in 2020. I'm always up for a good JRPG. Here's my thought, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bravely Default, that's the first game. Yeah. That's the first game in the series. It comes out. It's cool. Then another game comes out called Bravely Second. I was like, all right, I see what you did there with the name. That's cool. Like, it's Bravely Second. It's also the second game. The third game comes out, and it's called Bravely Default 2.
So obviously it wasn't the second game?
I don't understand.
Is it like Forza? Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport?
Is there going to be a Bravely Second 2 in a few years? Why isn't this Bravely Third? That's what I wrote down when I was watching the Game Awards and I was making notes. I wrote down Bravely Third.
What we all know about Asian developers, they like to keep us guessing.
And then it came up Bravely Default 2, and I was like, huh. How bizarre.
You skipped over a name, you know that.
Did I?
Oh,
shit! I did! Wow.
You skipped over the samurai game.
I skipped over the awesome-looking samurai game, Ghost of Tsushima, which had a trailer.
Which still doesn't have a release date. It just says summer.
Which had a trailer at the Game Awards and not the state of play.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so
When I saw
weird.
that, I was thinking, "Oh, don't do this! You've literally just cock-blocked us."
Yeah, like, what are you doing? This is your show. Like, put your thing on your show.
Yeah.
You
If you were coming out after the Game Awards and you did this for the Game Awards, I could understand it, but not the other way bloody round.
It's coming in summer 2020, which means that elaborate thought experiment I did last week, where PlayStation got E3
and releases
it's available right now. That's still on.
Oh, bloody hell, man. They can't be crazy to doing it for summer. I think it's crazy, man. I think they just don't want to say it's been pushed yet because they want to do a reveal event. I still want to contend that this is a launch title for the PlayStation 5 because they aren't saying anything about it. I think they aren't ready to talk about the PlayStation 5 yet, even though they've had 2 articles with Rick Wyatt. But when they're ready to talk, I think it didn't bother me. But
just the way they did it, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think I'll still contend until it's out saying PlayStation 4. I will contend that this is a launch title.
This is a Last Guardian situation again. Until it's in my PlayStation and I'm playing it.
Yes, it will not exist.
That was probably my most epic bet win of all time. Because it was cutting it close. It did come out in like December, but sorry. Tangent.
That date is the date.
Yeah, no, I still think it's going to come out on PS4. If everything's backwards compatible, it doesn't really matter, and it gives people like one last game.
I contend it'll still come out on PlayStation 4, but I contend it's going to come out like Breath of the Wild did.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, it's going to come
out. It comes out on both at the same time.
Nah, it's coming out.
But they're going to be pushing the PlayStation 5 version, obviously the hardest. That's how I think they're going to do that.
E3 is on June 9th. That's when it starts. PlayStation usually, when they in the past historically, they normally do stuff on the Tuesday night.
They did a Monday.
June
they did a Monday
7th.
And Tuesday morning for us, innit?
It's like either June 7th. So yeah, it's coming out on June 7th. Which incidentally is my birthday, but
happy birthday!
Thank you. More importantly, it's Ghost of Tsushima's launch day, and it's available right now, and no one's going to be able to convince me otherwise.
Nope.
Will I predict that in our yearly predictions thing next year? Absolutely not. But
you wimp, chicken.
I want to win, Manny. I want to win.
Do it. Don't be a wimp. Do it now. Do it.
This isn't like all those times Fixer got me to predict shit on my Xbox and me, and I just gave him a bunch of crazy shit. Like, I take this seriously.
Crazy.
I was crazy. He asked me to do E3 predictions last E3 2018, and I said, "Oh, Microsoft's going to have announced that they've bought Silent Hill." It was crazy.
They bought something. They did buy.
They did buy stuff.
You should have elaborated. They will buy something. I'm not elaborating on that. Right. I want to win this thing.
No, yeah, like when it comes to the yearly predictions, I want to win. I've got the need to win. It's my channel. I should be the best, and I never am. Never am.
You're the best around.
2 new League of Legends games were announced. These are the independent developed spin-offs from the MOBA game. So there's Ruined King, which is a tactical RPG from the guys who made Battle Chasers, and there's Convergence, which is an action platformer from a developer who I poked around, and it seems like they made mobile games before this. So I didn't really have a reference to say they made this. It's like, well, they made some stuff for mobile that I've never heard of because I don't play mobile games. I'm really interested in both though, because like I said last week, I don't like MOBAs, so I couldn't get into League of Legends, but the art and the world's always fascinated me. So like being able to engage in it, especially a tactical RPG. Battle Chasers was a great game. Like, and if they're making something like that with a League of Legends skin, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in. I'll play that. I'll play it.
I have no interest. I'll say that. I'm just not a League of Legends person, not my kind of thing. And I'm just like, yeah.
Like,
that's how it is for me.
I'm
rooting for everyone else who likes it.
I'm a sucker for a good fantasy story and a good fantasy world.
I'm a sucker for a good fantasy story. This doesn't scream like a good fantasy story.
I'll let you know.
Down click.
Weirdest announcement of the night has to go to Fast and Furious Crossroads.
Weirdest and crappiest.
It was terrible.
This was terrible.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, there's going to be one more thing, right? I was like, he's got one more announcement. And Michelle Rodriguez comes out and is all like, hey, Fast and Furious game. And I was like, no, like speculating on Twitter with a guy who follows me. And it was like, oh, it could be Batman. Oh, it could be Harry Potter. Oh, it could be all the other things we talked about on the podcast last week. Nope, it's Fast and Furious game that looks like it came out on the PS3. Okay.
Nope. The only thing what could have saved this part was literally when Vin Diesel said, I've seen the 4-minute trailer of the new Fast and Furious film. So show us, you
why did you? I thought
brilliant man.
Because there was an advert earlier on in the night for Birds of Prey. So when he said, I've seen the 4-minute trailer for Fast and Furious 9, I was like, okay, are they going to show the Fast and Furious 9 trailer at the end of a Game Awards show? That's weird, but I'll take it. No. He just said it to say it. Like,
that tells me it's coming out on Christmas Day, probably.
Probably. I don't know anything about films. I will defer to your superior expertise on these matters. Regardless of the fact that a Fast and Furious game was not on my list, on my wanted list, like, even just watching the reveal trailer, I was like, nah, this isn't moving the needle for me at all.
It wasn't even on my bloody radar, and I was just like, this was the thing that hurt these type of things that happen on the Game Awards always hurt it for me. You see these giant celebrities and everything, and I'm just like, I don't care about you. I'm not saying you aren't a gamer. That's not what I'm saying here. But you are not here what I've come for. I've come for the people who develop the games to see their genuine happiness, not you. If I want to see you, I would watch Fast and Furious. And everything.
There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Like, Green Day was weird as fuck because it was like I thought that when they announced it, it was like, you're doing a musical performance by Green Day. Churches, I totally understand because they were performing the Death Stranding theme. Because that was the theme they wrote for Death Stranding. And they had the orchestra, and it was amazing. And the lead singer, I'm in love. Did you see her? And then it was like...
She scared me, I'll say that.
She's so... moody. I was a bit... you can check my Twitter. I've got a whole thread. And halfway through it, I'm just like, oh, damn.
Amy's found a love.
I did. There was the Grimes. Was that the name of the...
I think Grimes.
And it was like, that was part of the Cyberpunk thing. So again, that was like understandable. And then... I'll just keep talking. And then you've got the freaking Green Day turning up, and it's like, cool, like Green Day is my generation's music, and it was interesting to see, but it had nothing really to do with games. It wasn't like when Mick Gordon turned up and shredded the Game Awards when he did the Doom performance a couple of years ago, which was fucking amazing. And it's like, this had nothing to do with games and felt out of place.
Yeah, sorry, I had to wake someone up who was snoring very loudly there.
That's okay, I couldn't even hear it.
Sorry, that's the thing about it. When it comes to video game awards, you should be having developers or scores or people who perform music who've performed and created music for video games, not Green Day or a band. I'm not saying Green Day aren't big; they are big, but you're not there for them. I'm sorry, I disagree with this, and I hate it. We're from the whole thing with Jeff Keighley. I really don't like it whatsoever. And the other thing what really annoys me is that why he does this won this award, and then thank you very much. Don't even get the people to go up and speak to give a little thing. I hate that. He wants to be like the Oscars. You be like the Oscars. You let everyone talk, and you don't. He doesn't allow that. He'd rather put on a concert. And I dislike this about that.
I agree. I will say, for celebrities appearing on video game stuff, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. The wrong way to do it was Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez at the Game Awards. The right way to do it, Keanu Reeves at the Xbox E3 show. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, because he's in the game.
He's in the fucking game, for starters. I mean, they're in the game, but yeah, it's when he starts talking about the trailer for the film and stuff, and it's just like, dude, a developer of the game could have walked out on stage like, and been like, oh my god, I'm making a Fast and Furious game and I'm at the Game Awards. Not, oh, I saw this movie trailer.
It's 4 minutes long.
4 minutes long. Okay, we're into the weeds a bit with the reveal, so I'll go through these ones quite quickly. Wolf Among Us 2 is back.
So happy about this.
I wasn't, and then the next morning, because I was like, who gives a shit? Like, oh, it's being made by Telltale. Yet that doesn't mean anything anymore. But then they were like, they got the original voice cast back. They've got a lot of the developers back. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm interested. Whereas
they've saved people.
They've saved it.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I know. Like it was reported ages ago that someone bought the rights of the name and everything for the Telltale, and obviously they went back and obviously just got all the original team and started the game because the game was still getting made. So, I'm happy for this. I was so excited for Wolf Among Us 2 and everything. So I'm excited to see what they do. It
was my second favorite Telltale game.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. I think it's Walking Dead Season 1, then that, and probably Tales from the Borderlands.
I didn't play Tales from the Borderlands. Batman was my Tales from the Borderlands in that equation. I don't like Borderlands that much, Moody.
I didn't like Borderlands 3, so
I like Batman. Like,
I had to say, I'm sorry, I was slow to spot out. I'm so happy there was no Batman game. I've never been so happy in my life. I was just discussing this with a friend of mine and saying, why do you not want Batman? Because I want other characters.
Because I've had 4.
We've had 4 of the freaking games, and the last one went so good. I want the new DC characters. You've got Wonder Woman, you got Superman, you got Green Lantern, you've got multiple freaking things. The films have just shown you can do a different character. Heck, you can do a villain character, and it'll be fine.
I've just watched the first 3 parts of Crisis on Infinite Earths. There are a lot of characters you could use. Some of them are multiple versions of the same character.
Poor Tom Welland. I didn't like what he did.
I did. I liked it.
I didn't. No.
I liked it. I liked everything in that.
Yeah. I wanted to hear the song and him to scream out, "Somebody save me!" But no.
They used this. Well, they did use the song last year.
Yep.
So I didn't think they were going to. But I liked his appearance, especially when he punched Lex Luthor in the face. Spoilers.
Well, when Lex gets punched, does everyone happy? You know.
Yeah.
But we're going off from one.
We're going off from that because I was literally just about to start talking about Brandon Routh Superman. So we should stop.
Yes.
Weird West was an action RPG, supernatural western from a new studio founded by the creators of Prey and Dishonored. I like all of those things. So I like Prey, I like Dishonored, I like action RPGs, I like westerns, and I like supernatural things. And the TV show Supernatural. Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance is a hack and slash. It's like a reboot of, because there was a Dark Alliance game years and years ago. I think it was on PS2, which was literally just like a D&D hack and slash game. It's like a co-op thing. You just sit down like Gauntlet style. But the interesting thing wasn't that, because that's a cool, fun game, but I'm never going to be like, this is one of the most amazing things ever. The interesting thing was in an interview, either that morning for me, because it was like 5 a.m. when it was finished, or like the next day, the president of Wizards of the Coast was like, yeah, we've got like 7 or 8 D&D games like ready to announce. Well, not ready to announce, that they're going to announce. So I was like, okay, nice. That's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons games all of a sudden.
If you got a Dungeons and Dragon fix or itch, you got something coming for you. You got an itch going to get scratched.
If you like Dungeons and Dragons, it certainly sounds like there's going to be a game for you.
There is a game for you, no doubt about it.
Speaking of Wizards of the Coast, Magic Legends MMO set in the Magic the Gathering universe sounds interesting. If I was into MMOs in any way.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things where it's like,
sorry, Magic the Gathering people. It's not my thing.
I did play the card game for a while, but the lore of it is actually quite interesting. So it is like, yeah, it's pretty cool. As an announcement. And the last thing was Gears Tactics is coming in April 28th, 2020, which is just neat. I imagine it'll be coming into Game Pass. And being very much an XCOM a gear-skinned XCOM game, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is the way Gears should really be. I've never clicked with the games at all. They it feels heavy, it feels clunky, and they don't feel like they move well for me.
Yeah.
I don't know that's built in. It's how it's meant to be. It just doesn't work for me. If it works I think it can work in this tactics type thing style better for me personally. So I think I could click with it here instead of the other games.
That's fair.
I
mean, I have no emotional attachment to Gears as a franchise. Like, I played the 3 Gears games, like, well after they came out. Like, they were, like, this was, like, at the end of the last generation when I was catching up on stuff. So I got the 3 Gears games and just played them, like, bang, 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 one after the other. Like, Gears 5 is my favorite Gears game. Like,
everyone says that.
Do they?
Everyone says that 5's amazing. I've played half of it, but I intend to get round to it.
Fair enough.
Everything and finish it off.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like, I play like 100 games a year and finish 30 of them.
That's true.
But I did really dig Gears 5. I think Gears 5, it's the last chapter or act or whatever they call it, pushes the last few hours that pushes it over the edge. Like, it does some stuff and it goes some places, and it's like, yeah, I really dug the last. That, which I know is a controversial statement because I know a lot of people don't like the last chapter. For some of the stuff it does.
I thought the finale was good.
I loved it. There's a specific moment, which would be spoilers, that people are very not happy about, and I was like, that was one of my favorite parts of the game. That's it for the reveals. Let's talk about
the 12 awards Death Stranding won.
It didn't. It won 3. It didn't even win the most awards. A different game won more awards than it.
A game I never heard of won most of the awards, didn't it?
Yeah, well, a game that... Let's see, I've got my Game of the Year list open. It's quite high. It's quite high on my Game of the Year list.
Okay, so how do you want to do? Do you want to start with Game of the Year?
Yeah,
do you want to start with VR and work our way up?
We'll start at the bottom.
I think we can get through the bottom ones pretty fast, and then from game director,
you don't know the rant I've got chambered for best strategy game. But best VR/AR game, Beat Saber.
I have a question for that one. Why the hell was that nominated? It's not even a 2019 game.
It is. It only came out of early because I reviewed it in like April because it came out of early access.
It was in early access.
Yeah.
Never mind it. I take it all back. No. I was bitching about it throughout the entire week when I voted for the Game Awards, and so I take it back. I apologize to Beat Saber. You are a great game. I do not deny that.
No, yeah, it was a weird one, but yeah, it did only come out of early access in like April, May time. Because I remember reviewing it earlier this year. Because I remember thinking the same as you and being like, oh, like it's out, right? Like, yeah. And then it was like, no, it's not. It's coming out now, and I was like, sweet.
It's out now.
And it's so good. Mm-hmm. Best strategy game, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Rudy, why was this not nominated for Game of the Year? It should have been nominated for Game of the Year.
I honestly do not know.
It should have, at the very least, been in the RPG category, since it's a fucking RPG!
Oh, blimey. I did not even realize that. I'm sorry, but are you annoyed with the winner who won role-playing game?
No, not at all. But
okay, would Fire Emblem have beaten that, do you think, if it was in there?
Probably. I think, maybe. I don't know. It seems like Disco Elysium, which, spoiler alert, that's going to come up a few times, had a big following in the voting caucus at the Game Awards, clearly. Which is cool because it's a phenomenal game. But yeah, I don't know. But like my point is like they put it in because it's not just about that. It's like they put it in the strategy game. All the other games in the strategy game category were full on pure strategy games, and they got screwed because as soon as Fire Emblem was in that category, it was gonna win.
It's like we waved the white flag.
It's like you might as well just not bother having any more nominees. It's like. Yeah.
They listened and they got to the chopper.
But yeah, like I just feel like Fire Emblem got dissed at the Game Awards, and it won the fan vote for best game of the year.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I was like, of course it did. It's.
But so is that why? Because I forgot to get around to you watching your your discussion about the nominations and everything. So that was one of the big ones because Fire Emblem wasn't nominated.
Yeah. Oh, I went off. Not necessarily because it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. I was confused by that. because it was a very popular game when it came out, especially amongst game critics. But just it was one of those games that everybody continuously talked about on Twitter. But no, the thing I went off about was the thing that it was in strategy game instead of RPGs.
But isn't it a strategy game? So it should have really been in all of them, shouldn't it?
It's a strategy RPG, but it's an RPG more than a strategy game.
Has the word strategy.
Like, all right, like, I will chalk you through this internet. Got the claws, and I know how to use them. Best score of music goes to Death Stranding.
Do you think this is fair?
I mean, it's got a very good soundtrack. I do not deny that.
That's the thing about it. That's why I think a lot of people, if you see Death Stranding win an award, I think a lot of people go, oh, why? Because look at the award, people. It was nominated for this, and it won for this. If you like the score and the music, that's brilliant.
I do, like...
Yeah, I haven't played the game, but I have listened to the score, and it's got a good score. I can't comment on it. I can't deny it, so...
Like, I mean, I'm obviously, like, it's a democratic process, and I'm bringing my own personal biases to it, obviously, because there's things I like and things I don't like. And the Death Stranding score was great. The soundtrack, the theme tune and all of the licensed music was really good. I just thought in a category in a year where we had both Cadence of Hyrule and Sayonara Wild Hearts, I was like, is it though? Like, is it the best? Like, I don't know if it's the best. When you've got Cadence of Hyrule banging out some amazing Zelda remixes. Like, I don't know. But that's just me. And
this is the thing what hurts the Game Awards. They leave it down to the people vote. And a lot of the people may not have played a lot of the games that are on there.
Yeah, well, they should because it's their job. Ha. Best performance.
The people's vote, no.
No, not the people's vote, no.
Critics vote, yes.
Best performance is Mads Mikkelsen in Death Stranding.
Have you skipped over role-playing?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
But yes.
I hear nothing that he did great. I hear that he did great, so I can't comment on it. I haven't played it.
Yeah, it was good. Like, I talked about this with Patrick a few weeks ago. Like, my pick for that was never going to win.
I think a lot of people were saying Troy Baker should have been nominated.
Troy Baker should have been nominated ahead of probably Norman Reedus, because Norman Reedus does really good work, but he's not... I know this is going to sound weird because he's the main character. He's not in it a lot. Like, in terms of, like, speaking and, like an actual being in cutscenes and stuff. Like, he doesn't do a lot in the game. Like, the stuff he does is great, but then you got Troy Baker being Troy Baker. Like, I love Troy Baker, and he is really good in Death Stranding. Like, if I was giving out the award, I would have given it out to, oh god, I always get them mixed up. The woman who plays Parvati from the Outer Worlds. And it's either,
I haven't played that game yet.
It's either Laura Bailey or Ashley Birch.
Laura Bailey wasn't up the gears.
So it was Ashley Birch, yeah. Laura Bailey was Kate, whatever. Best role-playing game.
Everyone wanted to play.
Yes. Best role-playing game, Disco Elysium.
I'm going to say this right now. That might piss you off, Amy. Never heard of this game until the Game Awards. Until I saw it won so many awards, and I'm thinking,
I have a video. I reviewed it.
I'll go back and watch it, and I'll be like, okay, is it on anything I can play it on?
Is it on PC? Are you on PC?
I'm on a PC. Doesn't mean it'll run on PC. Is it not on Switch?
Don't be daft.
Xbox?
Don't be daft. It will be. It will be.
Okay. Will be. If it comes out with Switch, I'll have Xbox.
You gotta remember, Mooney. This was the studio's like first ever game. Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, they had the resources to get it out on Steam, so they did, and they'll bring it out to consoles and stuff like that. They didn't
sell their souls and put it on Epic.
There's nothing.
That's what apparently everyone does.
Don't. We're having such a wholesome podcast. Don't.
I can't wait to sell my soul to Epic and sell my game to them.
Don't 10-minute rant about people being shitty.
This man's got to get paid.
Like, developers have got to get paid. I'm not doing this again. Best ongoing game to Fortnite, which
not surprising.
Makes a ton of sense. Like, if you can turn your game off and have people watching in their millions live streams of a black screen, Yeah, you probably deserve to win best ongoing game. Like
the only two awards that I absolutely annoyed me just because of how they're worded and because every single game or all the games that were nominated in the same category, and that was community support and multiplayer. Basically, you can put community support and ongoing game at the same bloody thing.
This is what I said. Like when we did the thing, it was like, why are they separate? Like because a good ongoing game has good community support. It's like surely it's just one thing.
Things. They are exactly the same things. I think it's just so they can vote for two different things.
Oh man, next time when we do the Game Awards nominees, I'm having you around because you get me. You get me. Patrick was all like, no, it's different because of this and this. And I was like, sure, Patrick's not. But you did make some good points in fairness. Best multiplayer game, Apex Legends.
Well, community support isn't an ongoing thing.
Well, no, different thing. I'm not going through the whole argument again. I just want to move on. Best multiplayer game went Apex Legends, which is fine.
That's not surprising.
People forget how big a deal that was when it came out?
Mm-hmm. And how big of a deal it is not now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still got to be pulling in the numbers, man.
Yeah. Fortnite wasn't on this one, was it, for multiplayer? I don't think it was.
No, because the multiplayer game one is just the games that were released this year. So it's like the best multiplayer game released in 2019.
So, if Fortnite was on that one, I think they would win that quite easy again.
But here's the thing about Fortnite, Mr. Mooney. Mm-hmm. It's still in early access. That's what it says.
Fudge off. So basically, that game is eventually going to release.
That game
is going to get nominated for 2020. And it's going to beat Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy and Last of Us, isn't it?
Oh, if that's how the 2020 Game Awards go,
that's a nightmare.
I'm going to burn.
You know everyone's going to boycott the awards then. I'll say Jack clearly. Don't let the critics pick Fortnite. Don't let it happen.
Fuck that.
You've already got criticism for this year. Do you want to survive another one?
Games for Impact was won by Greece.
That's not surprising. That looked absolutely beautiful. I forgot all about this game until I saw it, and I was thinking, damn, I forgot that game. I need to go and see it. I need to play it. I need to get around to it. Even if it only lasts 10 seconds.
I learned how to pronounce it at the Game Awards. So thank you, Game Awards. Game Direction, Death Stranding. I was always going to win Game Direction.
It's not surprising
whatsoever. Not at all. Not at all. Fresh indie game presented by Subway was, and that's a thing. Disco Elysium.
I have to ask this again. Why have fresh indie game when you've got independent? They're the same thing.
Well, fresh indie game is supposed to be, from what I read, like it's a studio's first game, like first indie game. So it's like the old.
Then say first game, not fresh.
Well, they've got to say fresh because it's sponsored by Subway. Like that's not a joke. It is sponsored by Subway. It's presented by Subway. But half of the nominees on the list wasn't their first game.
I knew you were going to say that. So just you to say that. I knew you were going to say that
because they used to have a breakthrough award, which was like Disco Elysium was a breakthrough award, right? Because it was like it's an indie game that broke through. Untitled Goose Game is a great example of an indie game that just broke through the consciousness, like and into like everybody knew about it, like in some way, like from Twitter or whatever. But like, yeah, just keep it as that. They changed the name to the point where it was just like, this is dumb, because you can do 5 minutes of Googling on the different studios and go, well, they've made games before, and they've made games before, and they've made games before, so what's the point?
They need to completely restructure this award ceremony. They'll release the awards for me, personally. I think it's
yeah, they need to think about some stuff, I think.
I would have a PlayStation, an Xbox, and a Nintendo. And then I would have a separate. This is how we're going off. I'm going off of things.
No,
I would have a Game of the Year one, and those I have games that are not dubbed for exclusives. And then you have the exclusives one from Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation thingy. The ones who win in those categories get transferred over to the Game of the Year award, and then you can have a giant vote from. You can have those those 3 awards right at the beginning, and then you have a giant vote for the next 2 hours to the end of the Game Awards online. And then, boom, there you have your Game of the Year for me.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Speaking of best Nintendo game, or should I say best family game, the Luigi's Mansion 3 won best family game. I don't know if you caught.
This was a Nintendo category.
Yeah, if you didn't, I don't know if you clocked it.
They've already started it. Just transfer Luigi to the best game of the year award now, and boom!
It was every Nintendo game that wasn't nominated in a different category. Like, what?
Are they saying Resident Evil 2 was not a family game?
Apparently.
I thought that little girl was my daughter.
Don't fucking talk to me about Resident Evil 2 right now. Snubbed. Got snubbed. I don't like it. Best fighting game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be Mortal Kombat. I was dead certain it was going to be Mortal Kombat.
I voted for Mortal Kombat because I haven't played Smash, but because Smash was there, yes, I knew Smash was there.
Smash came out last year. Oh, why do we have the Game Awards in December?
This is the thing I ranted about over the week.
Best audio design. Why? No. Yeah. Why? Why do we have them in? Why don't we have them in January? It wouldn't make a difference because everyone's here for the reveal. Everyone's here for the reveals anyway. So what's the difference? They're still going to watch it.
If every other award ceremony can be in next year, the DICE Awards, the BAFTA Awards, they can go all be in there. So can you, Jeff Keighley? What makes you so special?
Well,
just think you're not, mate.
Star Wars could have come in, and Pokemon could have been a thing, and dumb. You getting me?
Fire Emblem still would have been snubbed for best game.
Yeah, it would have, but Smash Brothers wouldn't have been nominated. Yeah,
or maybe Fire Emblem would have.
Nah, Star Wars would have.
Smash Bros wasn't there.
Star Wars would have, if it wasn't eligible.
Star Wars.
Star Wars could have won. Looking at anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. The best community support goes to Destiny 2. I don't know. I can't comment. I haven't played any of these games long enough to be to know what the community support is like.
Yeah.
Audio design went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which again I feel like is another foregone conclusion. The sound design in that game is better than average.
Any other game?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, when it comes to audio design, you can't deny it.
Yeah, Imran Khan on the Kind of Funny Gamescast said it best, where it's the problem with trying to vote for the game with the best audio design is that when audio design really works, you don't notice it. When it's doing a really good job, you don't notice.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. You're right.
Yeah. Best art direction went to Control.
I was surprised by this, and I don't think it should have won.
I was surprised. See, a funny thing happened. See, because I'm going through my backlog, so I'm playing through I'm finishing games I want to finish, and one of the things I'm doing is I'm trying to get all the achievements in Control. I've already given up because fucking bureau countermeasures. Nah, I can't do it. But I replayed it after it had won, and I was like, oh yeah, because there's all the stuff with the environmental destruction and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, I can see why it did win.
You can see why, no doubt about it. I agree. You can see why it won.
Should have.
But it shouldn't have. I think it should have gone to Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is such a cool, colourful, cute style.
Yeah, but
Controls all samey. Very samey.
I mean, I could... Well, a bit.
I think that for me, it's just very samey. I was like, no thank you.
Are we going to have a falling out when we do our Game of the Year discussion? Because I was planning to invite you to it. But now
I've only played 2 games this year, so...
You've already dissed one of them. What are we up to? Best action adventure game, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Mm-hmm. Best action game, Devil May Cry 5.
I was really happy about this. This was a great game.
For me, this was another foregone conclusion where I was like, it's going to be Devil May Cry 5. It's going to win best action game. Of course it is.
Mm-hmm. True.
It is a really good game. Game of the year, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Didn't see that coming.
A mate of mine was shocked. He was like, why has it been picked? Because it was highly critically acclaimed. People overall really enjoyed it. And it's a From Software game. I think that explains everything you should know personally. And like, it's one of the things like I've been saying for me all this year. We will be completely you will disagree with me completely what I'm about to say here, but I don't think it's been truly a great year for games. I don't think there's been any true standouts. Last year we had 2 games fighting toe to toe with Red Dead 2 and God of War. I've already been kicked off already. This year, for me, the big standout for me was Resident Evil. Serico is not my type of game. I'm not a From Software fan. I'm just like, I like baby ass baby mode, and they don't like giving me a baby ass baby mode. So,
how dare you? How very, very dare you? Not about Sekiro. I didn't like it, but like it's been such a
this is the thing. I like Devil May Cry 5. I thought it was a very good game. I don't think it was a great game. Control, I think it was a very good game, but not a great game. The only great game this year for me has been Resident Evil 2.
What year is it?
I think Pokemon is a very good game, but I don't think it's a great game. I won't lie, I haven't played every game like compared to what you have. You are more indie than anything I am. I wish I could get around to them all. Like, I've missed Disco Elysium. I really wish I didn't miss that. Grimes? Is it Grimes? Grease? I want to get around to getting that. I have games I've missed. I do not deny that, but I think like when everyone's saying why Fire Emblem shouldn't have been on there, that screams out that the game it just wasn't a great year for me. And again, the whole thing of you should have come out in January, you bloody stupid awards. But
this is also true.
Because we could, like, say you're missing 2 big ones, really. That's Final Fantasy. Why am I saying Final Fantasy? You're missing Pokemon and Jedi. You're missing 2 big games there. Which what? They're not going to get nominated next year.
No.
Unless Cyberpunk, Last of Us, and Final Fantasy suck, and you know they are not going to.
Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Last of Us, Animal Crossing, and then you think, and whatever we don't know about yet.
So they're not going to get nominated. This is the thing. He needs to move it to January. It's stupid.
But I did die a little inside there. Well, when you said it hadn't been a great year for games, because I've had a blast.
Amy, when you've had a great game, you send it to me straight away, and I will look to buy it or rent it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to send you some links after this podcast is over, and that'll be your homework.
I don't like homework. I get enough of it at college. No.
Well, you said something silly, so now you're getting homework. Anyway.
I am the glorious one. I never say anything silly. Ever.
Do you really?
I'm just that glorious.
Do you really want me to answer that?
You don't have to, Amy, because whatever you say, I won't hear.
Do you want to talk about Indie World?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'm going to save the Game Festival demos for after Indie World. We're on a roll with reveals and stuff.
Okay.
Someone's sending me a lot of messages. There was only a few things that stood at me from Nintendo's Indie World, and the main one, and I got into a bit of a dust-up with Fixer on this on Twitter, is Axiom Verge 2 has been a thing. It's revealed, and it's coming out next year, and it's going to be good because Axiom Verge was amazing. You never played it, did you? No one's played it, and it hurts because it was such
obviously
a
people
good
must
game.
have because it's getting a sequel.
Tom Hatt, man, he's the boy.
That's a good thing.
He's the boy.
No, I never got round to it. I apologize.
Fantastic. So the fact that Axiom Verge 2 was announced, let's
all agree on one thing here. World hunger could have been cured, and Fixer would have still said Resident Evil 3 was the biggest announcement of the year.
Now, I don't disagree with that. I think Resident Evil 3 was the bigger announcement. However, me tweeting my excitement about Axiom Verge 2 coming like on the indie world, and him coming to my Twitter and saying, "If any game that isn't Resident Evil 3, like, damn it, no, I will not stand for that." How very dare you? come for one of my favorite games of the generation. Like, damn.
That nobody remembers.
Shut up.
I'm so sorry.
Sports Story was announced. Did you ever play Golf Story?
Nope.
No, neither did I, and I heard it was really good.
See, Amy? That could have been a really good game. Then you didn't play it. Just because it had sport in it. Admit it.
Golf. This one's Sports Story. I thought it's Golf Story.
Yeah, that's a sport, apparently.
Yeah, well, this is all different sports. Golf, tennis, football. I don't know what else was in there, but like, it gives me an excuse to play, which is fun.
If you need an excuse to play, why not?
Well, because I don't have enough time to go back, so I can't really like spend 30 hours of my life playing Golf Story. Like, I can't afford that. But if they're bringing out Sports Story, I'm like, cool. Then I'll just pick this one up and play this one.
Do you think it has golf in it?
Yes, it was in the trailer.
Do you think it has cricket in it? That's the ultimate British sport.
It does, yes. It was in the trailer.
Or snooker?
I didn't see any snooker.
You've lost me.
How long? I wonder how long that would have gone on for. But did it have water polo?
Did it have Skittles?
Skittles? Did it have dominoes?
Yes, dominoes, the ultimate British game.
Boyfriend Dungeon was there, and I really want this game. It's such a me game. It's a dungeon crawler where you have you choose your class by choosing your weapons, but the weapons are also hot people, and you date them.
Weird concept. I gotta give some people credit, man. There went some crazy ass concepts out there with some of the games that I saw Game Jam this year. The concepts, what they showed off, I was just thinking, what? Damn, that's crazy, and I love it, and I want it now. And just to do that type of thing with boyfriend, and you date them, and it's dungeon crawler, and all like that, and yet somehow they put in boyfriend and that you date them. I'm just like, what else can you come up with, man?
Hell yeah.
I love it. That's the crazier the concept, it's more interesting.
Such a me game as well. So expect to hear me talk a lot about this next year. Every time, every single time it comes up on one of these shows. Skatebird's coming to Switch, but it's also, if you've got an Xbox, it's also coming to Game Pass. And that's gonna do it. Should we do this? Have a good time? No, we haven't really got time. We'll do that I'll do my Game Festival demo impressions as a separate video because we're running long on time.
Okay.
So we'll just do the NPD for November 2019. Top 10 best-selling games of November 2019. As follows. I don't know why I'm trying to make this sound more professional than it usually is. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 3, Pokemon Sword. Number 4, Pokemon Sword and Shield Double Pack. Number 5, Pokemon Shield. Number 6, Madden NFL 20. Number 7, Death Stranding. Number 8, NBA 2K20. Number 9, Need for Speed Heat. And number 10, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yay.
Any thoughts on that top 10?
3 Pokemon games.
It's always the fucking same. The double pack, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't think that's been a thing in past years when they've done. I don't think the double pack's ever appeared on an NPD before.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's been I don't know whether it's the first time they've ever done a double pack. What makes me laugh?
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say what makes me laugh the most is it outsold Pokemon Shield. Which, damn. Okay. People really wanted Sword.
What makes me laugh is that someone's just like, yeah, I don't want. I could buy one, but I could buy
both. Well, I mean, yeah.
Instead of £40, I have £80.
But what if I did this? I remember Mr. Negative on Twitter. He shared his on the Pokemon release day. He shared his Switch friend screen, and it was literally everyone was just playing Pokemon, but they were all playing Pokemon Sword.
Who is Shield? I picked Shield, mate. Boo you all.
To be fair, I have Sword.
Boo you.
How dare you?
I wanted Ponyta.
I wanted Ponyta, and you know what? I didn't know until afterwards.
Ha!
So now I'm a bit
I picked the wrong
disappointed.
game. I wanted Farfetch'd, and I didn't realize he was on Sword.
I've got a Farfetch'd, but I want a Ponyta.
Now. It's a pain in the ass to evolve.
Wait, we should trade.
Yeah,
I want a Ponyta.
I have a Ponyta. I think I do. I can go and get one.
Oh hell yeah! We'll sort that out. But no, one of the Pokemon trainers was like, I was fighting one of the Pokemon trainers, and they were like Ponyta, and I was like, you motherfucker, you don't throw that shit in my face. I can't catch your Pokemon because you're a trainer.
Oh, teased you.
Did.
You're just like, ha ha, I got this, and you don't know.
Goddamn right. Top 10 best-selling games year to date. Actually, do you want to talk about Death Stranding being 7th for the week?
No, it's not surprising. It's still in the top 10. It's making money. I know a lot of people are thinking that it's probably not made as much as what a lot of people thought it was going to. I think it's just because it's a divisive game and everything like that. It's still made money. PlayStation is still very happy. Kojima is still very happy.
Oh, 100%.
He's going to still make another game, so it doesn't make a difference.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, I didn't know whether it was going to be in the top 10 or not. Was my thing but yeah, I don't think it was ever going to be like a big seller.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
I know a lot of people are thinking like, "Oh my god, the Days Gone outsold it," and everything like that. Yeah, so
yeah, Days Gone's a very simple game to explain to someone. Yeah. It's an open world zombie apocalypse game. You drive around a motorbike. Explain Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Explain Death Stranding in 2 sentences.
You can pee in it.
Great. Top 10 best.
That's why I didn't play it.
Amazon Delivery Simulator with ghosts. You mean Luigi's Mansion? No, I don't mean Luigi's Mansion. Top 10 best-selling games yet to date. There's some cool stuff in here. Number 1, or rather, there's some cool stuff that's not in here. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 2, NBA 2K20. Number 3, Madden NFL 20. Number 4, Borderlands 3. Number 5, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 6, Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 7, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Number 8, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 9, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 10, Anthem. I have some notes.
Will Anthem survive the end of the year?
It's almost like I've got that as a question.
2 weeks left, isn't it?
I've got that as a question down the bottom. I might ask.
I might not have read that at all.
That's fine. We'll see. I'll get there. My first note is GTA 5 has finally disappeared from the top 10. Yeah,
it will be in by the end of the year.
If it comes back, I'm going to scream.
I thought I heard someone scream on Thursday night, but that might have been a lot of people.
I think that was the nation collectively. Safe space, Booty. Safe space. Stop.
Well, I have. Did you just fill in pain there a bit?
I did, yeah. I remembered that reality is a thing outside that door. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has the second best launch month sales of any Star Wars title in the US history, behind only Battlefront in 2015. And it also has the highest launch month sales for a game in Respawn Entertainment's history. So congratulations. Yay. I like Respawn.
Oh, sorry, I've yawning.
That's fine. We're nearly done. I've realised that Respawn have never made a bad game, though. Titanfall 2.
I didn't like Titanfall 1.
Apex Legends.
Basic and bland and Titanfall 2, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. I know everyone was like, this story is so good, yay! And I was just like, wow. Oh, I can see where this is going a mile away. Yo, that's so compelling. Oh, I can run across a wall. Yay.
I'm really learning a lot about you today. And I don't like it.
Are you sure you want me back on?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I will do what a lot of things have happened this week I've lied about. Titanfall 1 and 2 are absolutely fantastic games. They are oven ready and they're all brilliant.
Okay, now I'm just going to mute you.
I enjoyed Apex.
I don't care anymore. I'm going home.
Wait, what? You already home?
Oh, shit.
I enjoyed what I played of Star Wars. I haven't completed it.
That's fine. Pokemon Sword and Shield combined to achieve highest launch month sales in series history. Combined, the SKUs would have ranked second for the month, which is always Pokemon's story. Like, if they actually just released one Pokemon game instead of two, like, they would be higher in the sales charts. Well, they never do, so.
Well done, boycotts. You did something.
Hashtag boycott Pokemon worked. Like, Call of Duty was always going to be the best-selling game, so it's like, you might as well just say, well, Pokemon was the best-selling game of the month, right? Like, once you take out the obvious, Call of Duty is just in a league of its own.
I think it's funny that another game that everyone said boycott is number 4 on the list.
Yeah. On the date, Borderlands 3. Great.
You win because it isn't number 3, 2, or 1.
Yeah, 100%.
Self-5 for that.
Maybe we should just stop trying to boycott games for dumb reasons. Last note, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the best-selling fighting game in US history.
Yay.
I thought it was interesting. So here's my question, Rooney. There's 1 month left in the year, because obviously the NPD ended on the last day of November. One month's worth of sales data left. Will Pokemon Sword beat Anthem for a spot in the top 10 best-selling games of 2019?
Probably, but it'd be funny if it isn't.
I don't know if it would be funny.
The game that's been nothing but poo-pooed on throughout the entire year, and it's basically been forgotten about by its developer and publisher, that it would stay in the top 10 overall for the year.
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
I don't know if funny so much as a sad indictment of how the general public buys games.
It just makes you makes you go and just think, what if this game was good?
Imagine, right? I might actually still be playing it. It's in EA Access now. I'm pretty sure I saw Wario64 on Twitter tweet out a deal that it was $4.99 in America.
That's why.
Like last week.
Because people are getting it for the cheap.
But this is on dollars, not sales numbers.
It's like dollars don't mean nothing.
It's like the total dollar sales. So the fact that it's $4.99, it could sell 1 million copies, but it wouldn't move the needle very much. But still, $4.99, man. Fallout 76 wasn't that cheap.
Yes.
Till it goes free to play. Oh.
It will happen.
Well, that's it. We've just got games out this week, and now let's guess the score. But games out this week. Whatum is coming out on PC and PS4 on December 17th. That's it. That's the release schedule. You'd almost think.
It's got to be the last game coming out this year, right?
Yeah, it is. You'd almost think it was Christmas or something. I don't know what it is. I mean, the channel is done for more or less at this point. So, for the year, not for all time. I'll get to that in a minute because we've got to play. Let's play Guess the Score, where myself and my co-host will guess the Open Critic scores of new releases. You get 1 point if you're the closest to the score. You get 2 points if you get it dead on. And we keep a running tally, and this is the last week that we're doing it for the year. And this one was just meant to be a tiebreaker because it was tied. And luckily the tie has been broken, so I'll do this one first. Last week, Mr. Moody and I tried to guess the Open Critic score of Hearthstone Descent of Dragons. Moody guessed it would get a 79. I guessed it would get a 70. It's got no reviews. None. None.
Because I picked the highest score, does I get a point?
No. It didn't get any. I'm so disappointed in you.
If you pick the lowest score, do you lose a point?
No. It just... No one gets any points. Good day, sir. We also guessed the score of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. Mr. Moody guessed that it would get an open critic average of 51. I guessed that it would get an open critic average of 70. I just basically said 70 and shrugged last week for every game. And MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries got an open critic average of 74, which means I win.
What do you get?
Nothing.
Pat on the back?
Yeah. A pat on the back. And to know I'm right when I say that Titanfall 2 is the best first-person shooter of its generation. So that leaves the scores... that leaves the scores of... Careful. I can always delay watching Star Wars so I don't have to be on your podcast. I won't, because it's Star Wars. But I could. But I won't. Empty threat. That means that...
And I might completely ignore the thing you're going to send me after this.
I'd already forgotten about that.
What are you going to send me? A list of games?
I was going to send you links to YouTube videos so you could watch my reviews, finally.
Oh, well, okay.
Since
I watched some of them. I give you a thumbs up for your Death Stranding review.
You'd be the first. I just need a few other people to do it to balance the... balance the ratio. Yes, I win 3-2, basically. Like, this is a game I was just testing out for the last few weeks of the year, and now that it seems fun, so I'm going to do it next year, and I'm going to put a lot more of my heart into it.
I would do it for every 3 months.
No, it's a weekly thing.
Do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, September. There you go. Did I miss a month?
Just a little bit.
Did I?
You kind of got to October and then started going backwards.
Wait, I thought it went October, November, December.
Yeah, but you didn't say December. Or at least it didn't sound like you said December.
Oh, did I not?
You said September again. And
did I? Okay.
Yeah. It sounded like you said September again, and then I started laughing.
October, November, December. Ho, ho, ho.
That was the last episode of the Words About Gamescast for 2019. So basically what's going to happen now is this rest of this week after this episode is going to be Game of the Year videos where I go through my top 30 games of the year. And then on the Friday, we're going to have a discussion about all the games that came out in 2019. It'll be a very free-form video. I don't even know who I'm going to invite yet. I was going to invite Mr. Mooney, but now I'm not so sure. Because he doesn't like things that are good. We'll be off for 2 weeks after that for a 2-week Christmas break. And then when we come back, it'll be like a week of looking ahead. So we'll be doing our predictions.
I'll do that one.
I'm going to invite...
I'll do looking ahead.
Oh, I'm going to invite you to stuff. I found this like fantasy football.
Yes.
I found a site that does that for video games. And I'm gonna make a league for as many people as like I can, like you, Patrick, Keith, Russell, Tom, and we're gonna have that going through the whole year.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun.
Awesome. About time I get to start something and win it from the beginning and just look awesome and be glorious.
Well,
do I get a title at the end and wear it up like The Rock?
I'll get you something. I'll get something for the winner of that. Predictions though, you have to be careful. Because we make bets on predictions, and people have to do.
As long as I don't have to strip, shave, do something very rudely, I'm okay.
Stripping's against the terms of service, so you're fine there.
That's good. What about shaving?
Can't guarantee it, but if it makes you feel any better, I make up the forfeits, and you know what? You'll find out next year. It's fine. So that's going to be it. So yeah, I guess normal podcast for about 4 weeks. Like normal podcast for about 4 weeks. Like I say, stick around for the rest of the week. Game of the Year is fun. I'm looking at my list right now.
And it's daunting.
Moody's not going to like it.
Well, I'm not going to like it. It's all subjective. Every list is amazing.
Damn right it is.
All lists are right. None are wrong, especially... But they are wrong if they have Titanfall on. Anything Respawn, all wrong. If you don't have a Kojima game, you're dead to me.
Say bye, Moody.
Bye. Do you miss me already?